All right, welcome, beautiful people. This is your girl's first YouTube. It's Tashima, and I am super duper excited because I done recorded this damn video 9 times. So I'm glad to finally be giving you all the final video and to really come on and give you all like a intro of who I am, so that I'm not just jumping on YouTube with valuable ass information and content. So stay tuned. Starting off, let me just say, first and foremost, if you have a story to tell, tell it. Okay, people will gravitate towards you, and even if it's like 1,000 people out here doing the same thing that you're doing, people are going to gravitate towards you and who you are. So be sure to be transparent about who you are and where you and how you got to where you are, because that is going to be super duper important. The story I'm going to give you guys today is actually one that I have been pretty embarrassed and ashamed to tell, and it wasn't until I started connecting with some older people and start telling them the story where it was like, wow, like that's a powerful ass story, and it really lifted me up to know that, okay, it's not just a story to tell, it's a testimony. So let's just jump right in. Starting with being associated with bad company, and that's going to be super important in life. And I know y'all parents used to tell you that, be careful who you hang around. I got involved with the guy and got arrested for being involved with the guy, and that really put me in a tough place. Because throughout that year after being arrested, I was applying for accounting roles, whether it was with an accounting company or like tech companies, marketing companies, and I'm getting offers for these accounting roles, like anywhere between 45K offers and 72K offers. I am getting offers, like interviews are going great. I'm feeling good, but I ain't passing no damn background checks. And that's how you get through the door. So that was a huge issue. Like, I am really going through an emotional roller coaster, because I'm like, okay, I need to keep going. I'm applying, I'm getting interviews, I'm doing interviews, I'm getting offers, I'm getting to the offers and filling out background checks, taking drug tests, doing this and doing that, and your girl can't pass no damn background check. Like, that was a major issue, and I went through that for almost a full year before I started contemplating, like, hey, do I need to continue to do this, or do I need to start looking for customer service roles, because I also had a lot of experience in customer service. So I decided I was gonna do both, because the reality of it was I did not feel confident accepting a customer service role, knowing damn well accounting is what I want to do and accounting is what I'm good at. So I like I said, I did both, and even when I got customer service interviews, I did not go to a lot of them, because I preferred the accounting roles. So shortly after I made that decision, maybe 2017, the spring of 2017, I received 3 full offers. And I ain't just talking about offers, I'm talking about your girl in the dough. What you want to get paid, you know? And that was literally like the jump start that I needed, because not that I was starting to give up. Of course I was going to keep going, but I was definitely like, faith was being tested here, okay? But I received 3 offers, one at Jaguar in Atlanta, Georgia. Of course, that's a car company. And then I also received an internship opportunity at Georgia Lottery. And if you're in the U.S., you probably have a lottery system, and you're in one of the states that you are living in. And that was a financial analyst role. And then I also received an offer with Enterprise, which is a rental car center. And that was just like a branch manager and training role or something like that. Enterprise was asking for way too many hours from your girl, so I definitely could not commit to that. And when it came to Jaguar, they were basically offering the same pay for that the internship was offering, and it was like it was a staff accountant role, and I was just like, it's more opportunity over here and more pay over here. So I took the Georgia Lottery job. I loved it, loved every part of it, loved it enough to where once the internship ended, they extended my offer. So I stayed a little longer than what I was supposed to, which was awesome. And everything was good. Everything was good. And then towards the end of that internship, I found out I was pregnant. And like I said, this is like the end of the internship. So at this point, I'm like, all right, girl, what you about to do now? You need a job. I did not have time to go through the emotional roller coasters that came with applying for those accounting roles. So I decided to reach back out on a customer service role that I had already been offered an interview with, and I took that. I went with that. I started working with a company called Williams-Sonoma. You may know, if not Williams-Sonoma, you probably know their partner, their sister brands, which is like Pottery Barn, and it was work from home, so it was perfect. Like, I'm pregnant. I ain't really trying to be driving and getting up all early for work anyway, so this was right on time for me. And then I quit because at the end of the day, I didn't want to do a customer service job. And I quit maybe 2 months before I had my son. I ran through my savings. Like, I started running through my savings. This is when I was like, okay, like, I really have to figure out what I'm about to do. I ended up having my son in May of 2018, a month after I had my son, literally a month. Like, I think I got this offer on June 6th. I received a call from someone at Pulte Group, which is a company that builds subdivisions all over the world. If you've never heard of Pulte Group, you've probably heard of Pulte Homes, but this was for an accounts payable role, and it was also great pay. So I was like, all right, I'm hopping in on this ASAP. Hooey. This is when your girl was like, all right, being a mom and working full time is a lot. Like, this is when I started to go through my postpartum depression period, and I didn't even know that I was going through postpartum depression. I don't even think people around me knew that I was going through postpartum depression, but I was genuinely worn out. I was tired. Like, I was very, very tired. I was dropping my son off 30 minutes from my house to, of course, have good care, and then driving another hour and a half to get to work, and then driving another hour and a half to pick him up, and then like 40 minutes to get back home. I was exhausted. And then I'm also breastfeeding, so like, it got to a point where I wasn't producing as much milk as he needed and wanted, and I was tired. I was drained. Like, it literally was a point in my life where I was like, all right, this may not work, and you may need to quit this job. And my son got sick, and that was the first time he got sick, and I ended up quitting my job because I was like, I'm not gonna put me working over him. And then at that point in time, like I said, I was just really, really tired. I was tired. There's no other word for it, because it's not like I was just super depressed. I think I was just drained, mentally, physically tired. So I quit that job. I actually resigned because she wanted to give me an opportunity to come back if I wanted to. And I took off for like 6 months. And this was that period where I was lost. I wasn't sure if I was ready for that emotional roller coaster of going and applying for jobs and being told no because of the background check. I just wasn't ready for that, and I just kind of sat around for like 6 months trying to figure out what I was going to do. I even, started trying to do other things outside of accounting, outside of customer service. Like, I dabbled and dabbed in things just to really try to keep moving without discouraging myself, truth be told. And it got to a point where I was like, all right, I gotta do something. I started applying for temp services, and then I came across an opportunity, and I just knew I was going to get this opportunity. Like, it was a shoe-in. I knew I had the job. All right, so before I continue on with my story, I want to know in the comments, do you have a testimony or story that you have told that has helped someone get through something? And if so, leave it below, because you may be able to help someone here in the comments. So drop those below. And then I was told I didn't have the job. And a day after that, a temp service reached out to me letting me know that I had an offer for a full-time job with awesome pay, the best pay I think I've ever had, for a company called Emory University, which is also a part of the Emory Hospital, which is located in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was excited. I loved Emory. I enjoyed working with Emory so much. It was an accounting role, so I was full blown working in accounting, and I was doing really, really well for myself, and to the point where my supervisor, who wasn't my direct supervisor, but who was my supervisor's direct supervisor, was like, we need to bring her on full time. We went through interview processes. We negotiated my rates, and I also had certain terms because I wanted to be able to get to work at a certain time. I wanted to be able to leave at a certain time. I also wanted to be able to work from home 2 days out of the week. Like, I was negotiating, and your girl was getting what she was asking for, okay? And that was literally that confidence booster. Like, I felt really, really good. So January came. I am waiting and waiting and waiting on hearing back about my background check, of course. And then one day I came into work and they told me that I didn't pass the background check and that he had to let me go. Even from that temp role, he had to let me go. And that was it was a weird feeling because it wasn't that hard for me and I was okay with it. So a week before that actually happened, I had a one-on-one talk with myself in the mirror, like, hey girl, God has literally brought you through and through so many different things, and you have gotten through so many different things, and not just gotten through. You didn't just prevail and get through. You came up on top. You were better than you were before. So you're gonna be fine. Where do you think I ended up in my journey? I want to hear, what are your thoughts? So tell me, where do you think I ended up going? Where do you think I ended up doing after all the things that I've just told? Drop it below in the comments. I think me having that talk with myself was very much needed because when I got fired, I accepted it. I genuinely, in my heart, was okay. I was not upset, and even to this day, I am on good terms with everyone there. And it was a good experience. So when I went home, I immediately jumped into, all right, let me get my business together. About a month before I got fired, I also received an approval for my EFIN number. Now, rewinding back to 2017, when I applied for that, my EFIN number, then I got rejected because of that case. Just like that background check situation, it also affected me doing taxes. So, I mean, like I said, that really was like affecting your girl in all types of ways. But here we are, me getting an approval letter a month before I get fired, and I was like, okay, God don't make no mistakes. There was no mistake in that happening. So I immediately, like I said, I left work that day and I got the ball rolling. I started applying for registrations, applying for EINs, getting my tax stuff together, applying for a specific bank so people could pay for their refunds through their pay for their tax prep fees through their refunds. Like, I literally started doing everything. And then one of the biggest things that I did was start looking for a coach who could help me. Listen to me. Me paying almost $5,000 for that coach was the best money I ever invested, okay? She provided me a foundation, and most coaches, that's what they do. They provide you with a foundation to be able to get to where you're trying to go. And not saying that she got me to where I was able to get to, but she definitely gave me the foundation to be able to not start from scratch. I was literally coming from corporate America to running my own business, and it's not easy, let's be clear. But I can honestly say within that first month of me getting fired, I tripled my income. And although I did not do things perfectly, and I definitely made a few mistakes along the way, within my first year, I was able to do 6 figures in sales. So that coach, huge help. Huge help. And like I said, God doesn't make any mistakes. So, not saying that I'm happy that I was arrested and all of that transpired, but who's to say if I would have taken the route that I did to get to entrepreneurship, I may still be working in corporate America because like I said, I would have been comfortable. I would have been somewhat complacent because I'm making good money. I'm doing what I want to do. Who's to say? God don't make no mistakes. And then not only that, and I didn't even include this in my story, but when this was in January. During that time when I was working at Emory and the things were going good, before I got fired, literally a month and a half before I got fired, I was applying for apartments. I was trying to find a roof to put over me and my child's head, and I was getting rejected because of that background check situation. Listen, I went from crying in January, literally, I was at work crying. I went into a private room to cry about not getting approved for an apartment that was 1051, 2-bedroom apartment that was 1051, to crying and being grateful and praising God for my 3-story townhome. That's 1059. I'm just saying now, we may not like the journey and the process in which God sends us on, but God does not make any mistakes. Like, it's okay. I had been waiting for a long time to give this testimony, and then it dawned on me like, girl, when you gonna give it? Like, you've been saying you can't wait to get this testimony, but when you gonna give it? Listen, not only did I get through, but I came up on top. I cannot express that enough. And I think it is extremely, extremely important for you to recognize where you are in your journey, because that part is gonna be the part that takes you to the next step. Because the journey isn't over. Like, I'm almost certain there are gonna be other things that I am going to go through that are going to make me better. Just like this situation made me better, made me stronger. I have never been more consistent, more persistent in my life. And if it wasn't for me going through those things, I would have not been able to take on denials from clients that, potential clients that I wanted to work with. I wouldn't have been able to build systems in my business. I wouldn't have been able to hire people in my business, and I wouldn't have been able to get to 6 figures in sales. And let's be clear, even if I lost it all, I would be able to do it all over again because of that situation. So tell your story, recognize where you are within your story, because it is going to make you stronger. And you are building something, and a lot of what you are building, of course, you're building a business, you're building a brand, but that also comes with you building up yourself, building up your self-confidence, building up how you work in business, how you work with people, how you work with a team. So I'm loving where I am. I cannot wait for you all to continue on this journey with me, because I am going even further than what I am today. So I want you all to stay tuned. Make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, you do all that great stuff, because I want to see you here every Tuesday or whatever day I decide to post every week. So see you all next week.